My share greetings to all participants and viewers of the International Conference PAO 2020. So let me introduce my report, and the topic of this report is Pandemic, the Democracy We Didn't Know Before 2020. So freedom, human rights and European values always were some kind of benchmark, not only for Ukraine but for other countries of the world that long for living in a democratic society. However, since the beginning of COVID-19 epidemic, it has become obvious that human rights are some kind of phantom. So what did we see within last 3 months from a legal point of view? The first is the lack of any tactics of the authorities and governments when they faced the COVID-19 epidemic. They do not have any tactics to fight the epidemic. They do not know what to do. And this absence of tactics, from my point of view, led to rude and illegal violations of human rights of people that live not only in European Union space, but in all other countries of the world. What rights are we talking about? For example, first, this is the right for the work. You know that now many people have no legal possibility to work and to earn money. This is the right to free of movement and the right to return a person to his country in accordance with Article 13, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. For example, in Ukraine, the government issued a decree in accordance with which the Ukrainian citizens that were in Italy at the moment of the border closing had not right to return to Ukraine if they had a temperature, I mean a body temperature, more than 37.2. So the Ukrainian government separated the citizens of Ukraine to people who have good temperature and bad temperature. The only method 19% of countries to fight COVID-19 are human rights restrictions and bans. So from my point of view, the governments and the authorities fight with people, but not with virus. Moreover, some prohibitions from my point of view sometimes led to an even greater spread of the virus. And the bright example of this is Italy. For example, you know that on March 4, 2020, Italian government adopted a decree. In accordance with this decree, the 14 regions of Italy were closed to enter and to in. But in this decree was the article, in accordance with this article, the people who have no residency in that very regions may leave these regions. What does it mean? It means that Italian citizens, for example, if they do not have a permanent residence in Milan, may leave this city. But this city, for the people who live in Milan, is closed. As a result, in Milan were crowds at train stations, at the airports, because people began to leave this region. And as a result, the virus were spread by all the territory of the Italy. And from my point of view, this is the result of not effective and bad tactic of Italian government. But let's get back to the human rights restrictions. In order to limit human rights in sections of the constitution of any country should be the specific article. So, in order to restrict or to limit human rights in constitution of, for example, Ukraine, Italy, Germany, should be noted the specific article, the specific point that may give the governments and authorities possibility to restrict or to ban human rights. But we know that in many constitutions of many countries, of different countries, there is no such an article. For this reason, many lawyers started to tell that the restrictions of human rights that now are happening in many countries, they are illegal. And I'm sure that now many governments and many authorities begin to understand that they violated the law. So we may say that they committed a crime against their own people, against their own citizens. Moreover, I would like to know that within last 3 months I saw that, for example, in European Union there are people, maybe we could say that they are unload people. What am I talking about? When the borders of European Union and of European Union countries were closed, you know that many people, tourists that are not residents of European Union countries, appeared in that countries. So, for example, the citizen of the United States planned to have a trip by car from Germany to Portugal and from Portugal to Germany, and after that have a flight to the United States. And just imagine when the borders on March 16 were closed, this person was in Portugal. So the first, this citizen of the United States have no legal opportunity to come back to Germany, but he have a flight to the United States from, for example, Munich airport. The second, this person should do something with his car. And for example, if this car is rented, so this person have more problems. And I would like to know that in this situation, when European governments, when European countries close their borders inside the European Union, so they didn't think about the tourists. But I would like to say that the tourism is one of the economic basis of European countries. And for this reason, I call these tourists that are not the citizens of the European Union countries, that they are unload. So in this situation, we saw that the governments of European countries, they do not think about the people who bring money to the European Union. So also in Europe, which is urgently restricted human rights, when they faced this pandemic, they violated not only the rights of their citizens, but also the rights of the citizens of other countries, of tourists that appeared in that very moment in the territory of the European Union. It is also interesting to know that when the German Minister of Police made a statement in that very moment, he told that, we should close the borders of the Germany because the Germans will have not enough food to eat. So the people from other countries will come to Germany and eat the food of the Germans. Also, he noted that we should close our borders because we will not have enough place in our hospitals. So Germans have no possibility to treat all these people. And from my point of view, it means something like that German is only for Germans. But you should understand that this is not this is not that these people told about before. So they told that the epidemic, the COVID-19, it has no nationalities, it has no citizenships, but we see that when the countries faced this problem, we have both nationalities and we have both citizenship. And now, for example, Italy adopted a law in accordance to which since June 3, 2020, the Italy will be open to the tourists. But I should know that in accordance with this law, Italy will be open for tourists who is the citizens of European Union or Schengen countries. So I'm not familiar with any law that says that people outside the European Union are more contagious than people who are European Union citizens. COVID-19 doesn't know nationalities and citizenships. This is what they said in many press conferences, in many broadcast channels, but in fact this is not the truth. It should be noted that Ukraine began to copy European Union, and within last 3 and 2 months the Ukrainian government, from my point of view as a lawyer, restricted as many and violated as many laws as maybe it wasn't violated within the whole history of independence of Ukraine. Considering all the above mentions, I think that in the post-apocalyptic era, human rights will be narrow under various pretexts: pandemic, terrorism, as well as various other threats that may not even be real and even not exist. So we are waiting for the era of dictatorship under the noble pretexts.